For years, Sister Wives viewers watched Janelle Brown put her family first. She was often the calm voice during arguments, the practical problem solver when emotions ran high, and the one who seemed willing to make sacrifices to keep everything moving forward. Even when the Brown family's relationships became more complicated, Janelle rarely made herself the center of attention. But today, fans believe they're witnessing something very different. Instead of watching Janelle struggle to hold together a family that has changed dramatically, viewers are now seeing a woman who appears to be building a life on her own terms. And according to many longtime followers of Sister Wives, that transformation may be one of the biggest success stories to come out of the series. So what changed? Why are fans suddenly saying Janelle looks happier, more confident, and more at peace than she has in years? And why has her latest chapter sparked so much conversation across the Sister Wives community? The answers aren't about one dramatic argument or one explosive moment. They're about something much bigger, a series of decisions that slowly reshaped her future. As the Brown family's plural marriage fell apart over the past several years, each family member faced difficult choices. Christine chose to leave first and eventually remarried. Meri closed the chapter on her spiritual marriage to Cody and began focusing on her own businesses and personal goals. Janelle, meanwhile, took a quieter approach. She didn't rush into making headlines. She didn't spend every interview criticizing the past. Instead, she focused on creating stability for herself and staying close to the people who mattered most, her children and grandchildren. That decision has now led to one of the most talked about developments in the Sister Wives world. Recently, Janelle shared more of her new life in North Carolina, where she's spending time near her daughter Maddie, son-in-law Caleb, and their growing family. Instead of the uncertainty viewers watched during the later years of the show, her recent updates reflect something many fans had hoped to see for a long time: a sense of peace and purpose. Photos and videos from her new surroundings quickly spread across social media, with fans commenting that Janelle seems more relaxed than ever. Many pointed out that she appears to be enjoying simple moments, family gatherings, outdoor projects, and time with her grandchildren without the constant tension that often surrounded the Brown family's earlier storylines. For longtime viewers, those moments carry real meaning. They remember the years when financial stress, frequent moves, disagreements over property, and changing family relationships dominated the conversation. Through all of it, Janelle often kept her emotions private. Now, many fans believe they're finally seeing the version of Janelle that existed beneath all of those responsibilities. Of course, this new chapter isn't just about geography, it's also about independence. Over the years, Janelle became known for her practical mindset. She frequently discussed budgeting, work, and long-term planning. Those qualities are now helping shape her future as she focuses on projects that reflect her own priorities rather than trying to balance the expectations of an entire plural family. Supporters say that's exactly why her journey feels so relatable. Instead of chasing attention, Janelle appears to be building something meaningful step by step. That slow, steady progress has resonated with viewers who have followed her story for more than a decade. Meanwhile, conversations about Kody Brown continue to unfold. As the original Brown family changed, Cody has acknowledged that many relationships within the family have shifted dramatically. The emotional distance between him and several of his adult children has become a recurring topic on the show, and fans continue to debate what could have been done differently. Every new update involving Janelle inevitably leads to comparisons. Viewers ask the same question again and again. Would things have turned out differently if different decisions had been made years ago? It's impossible to know. But what many people agree on is that Janelle's life today looks very different from the one audiences watched during the family's most difficult seasons. That's one reason her story continues to attract so much attention. She's not simply moving away from the past. She's creating something new. And according to fans, that's far more compelling than endless conflict. Still, the timing of these developments has raised even more questions. As TLC prepares to bring viewers another season of Sister Wives, interest in every member of the Brown family is growing again. Every interview, every social media post, and every public appearance is being closely analyzed by viewers looking for clues about where the family's relationships stand today. Janelle's recent updates have naturally become part of those discussions. Some fans believe her growing confidence reflects years of personal growth. Others think becoming a grandmother and spending more time with her children has completely changed her outlook on life. Whatever the reason, one thing seems clear: The woman viewers are seeing today appears very different from the Janelle who once spent years trying to make plural marriage work under increasingly difficult circumstances. And perhaps that's why her story feels so powerful. It's not built around revenge. It's not centered on proving anyone wrong. Instead, it focuses on moving forward. That message has connected with thousands of viewers who say they admire how she has handled enormous life changes without constantly seeking attention. Of course, that doesn't mean the past has disappeared. The Brown family's history remains a major part of every conversation surrounding sister wives. Questions about former relationships, family dynamics, and unresolved tensions still surface whenever a new episode or interview airs. Those topics continue to generate passionate discussions among fans. But today, the spotlight is increasingly shifting toward what comes next rather than what went wrong. And for Janelle, that future appears to be centered around family, independence, and creating a life that reflects her own priorities. That may sound simple, yet after everything viewers have watched over the years, it represents one of the biggest transformations in the entire Sister Wives story. And that's only the beginning. Because as more information emerges about her new projects, changing family relationships, and the emotional impact these changes have had across the Brown family, even longtime fans are beginning to see this chapter in a completely different light. If there's one thing longtime Sister Wives fans have learned, it's that life in the Brown family is constantly evolving. Every new season has brought another unexpected twist, another emotional conversation, or another major life decision. But this time, the story isn't centered on a family argument or another painful breakup. Instead, it's about what happens after the cameras stop focusing on the end of a relationship and start capturing the beginning of a completely new chapter. For Janelle Brown, that chapter appears to be defined by something viewers rarely saw during the height of the family's plural marriage, stability. For years, fans watched her move from one home to another as the Brown family relocated from Utah to Las Vegas and later to Flagstaff. Every move came with new challenges, financial questions, and emotional stress. Even when Janelle remained calm on camera, many viewers sensed the constant uncertainty surrounding the family's future. Today, that uncertainty seems to be fading. Rather than spending her energy trying to hold together a lifestyle that was rapidly changing, Janelle has shifted her focus toward building a future that reflects what matters most to her now. And according to the updates she's shared publicly, family sits firmly at the center of that future. One of the biggest reasons fans are talking about Janelle's new chapter is her decision to spend more time in North Carolina, close to her daughter, Maddie Brown Brush, son-in-law, Caleb Brush, and their growing family. That choice wasn't just about changing locations. For many viewers, it symbolized something much deeper. It represented choosing peace over pressure. Instead of being surrounded by constant conflict, Janelle now appears to be surrounded by grandchildren, family gatherings, and everyday moments that many people dream about after years of personal challenges. Her social media updates have reflected that shift. Whether she's sharing time outdoors, enjoying family celebrations, or talking about new projects, fans often comment on the same thing. They say she looks genuinely happy. Of course, appearances don't tell the entire story, and only Janelle truly knows what life feels like behind the scenes. But viewers naturally compare the woman they see today with the version of Janelle they watched during some of the show's most difficult years. The difference is hard to ignore. Back then, conversations often revolved around complicated family decisions, disagreements about property, and growing emotional distance within the Brown family. And the episodes left fans wondering whether the relationships could survive. Now, discussions about Janelle are often centered on growth rather than conflict. That's a dramatic change, not just for her, but for the overall conversation surrounding Sister Wives. Another topic generating excitement among fans is the family's agricultural project, Tata Farms. While the project is still developing, many supporters see it as a reflection of the values Janelle has always talked about. Throughout the series, she often expressed appreciation for nature, hard work, and living a simpler life. Those interests now seem to align naturally with the direction her family is taking. Viewers have followed updates about the farm with genuine curiosity, wondering what role Janelle will continue to play as the project grows. Some fans believe the farm represents more than just a business venture. They see it as a symbol, a reminder that life doesn't end after a major relationship changes. Sometimes it opens doors that never seemed possible before. That perspective has made Janelle one of the most widely supported members of the Brown family. Across online discussions, viewers frequently praise the way she has handled difficult transitions. Instead of responding with bitterness, many feel she has chosen a quieter path focused on rebuilding her life step by step. That doesn't mean everyone agrees on every decision she has made. Like every public figure, Janelle has her critics. But even many people who disagree with her viewpoints often acknowledge one thing. She appears committed to creating a healthier future for herself and her family. And that commitment resonates with audiences. It also highlights one of the biggest themes emerging from the later years of Sister Wives. The story is no longer just about plural marriage. It's increasingly about what happens after those relationships change. How do people rebuild? How do they rediscover themselves? How do they redefine family? Those questions have become just as compelling as the original premise of the show. While Janelle embraces this new phase, fans continue to compare it with Kody Brown's situation. Kody has publicly acknowledged that many family relationships have changed over the years. His relationships with several adult children have been discussed both on the series and in interviews, leading to ongoing conversations among viewers about communication, expectations, and the long-term effects of family conflict. Every time Janelle shares another positive update, those comparisons naturally become part of the discussion. Not because she directly creates them, but because audiences remember where the story began. Years ago, viewers watched a family that believed plural marriage would strengthen their relationships. Today, they see four women following very different paths. Christine has embraced married life with David Woolley. Meri continues expanding her businesses and exploring new opportunities. Janelle appears focused on family, independence, and creating a peaceful lifestyle. And Robyn remains legally married to Cody as both continue navigating a dramatically different family dynamic than the one audiences first met. The contrast is striking. It's also one of the reasons Sister Wives continues to generate headlines after so many seasons. The show has transformed from documenting one unconventional family into following several separate journeys of personal change. Each story has its own audience. Each journey raises different questions. And right now, Janelle's story may be capturing the most attention because it feels grounded in something many viewers can relate to, the idea that it's never too late to build a life that feels right for you. That message has inspired countless comments from fans who say they admire her resilience. Many point out that she didn't seem interested in proving anyone wrong. Instead, she appears focused on proving something to herself. That she can create happiness without depending on the structure that once defined her life, whether that's through spending time with family, working on new projects, or simply enjoying a slower pace. Supporters believe Janelle has found something she was searching for all along: peace. But as encouraging as this new chapter appears, it doesn't erase the emotional complexity of the past. Family histories don't disappear overnight. Memories remain. Relationships continue evolving. And viewers know there are still many unanswered questions about where everyone stands today. Those questions become even more interesting as anticipation builds for the next season of Sister Wives. What conversations will finally happen on camera? Will old tensions resurface? Could there be moments of healing? Or will the emotional distance between family members continue to grow? Those possibilities have fans eagerly waiting for the next chapter. Because while Janelle's fresh start has become one of the most uplifting developments in recent years, it's only one piece of a much larger story. And as new episodes bring the Brown family back into the spotlight, viewers may finally get a clearer picture of how each member is adapting to a life that looks nothing like the one they imagined years ago. As Janelle Brown embraces a quieter and more independent chapter of her life, many Sister Wives fans are asking the same question. What does all of this mean for Kody Brown? For years, Cody was the center of one of television's most talked about families. The original idea behind Sister Wives was built around one husband, multiple wives, and the belief that this unique family structure could thrive through communication, faith, and shared commitment. But after everything that has happened over the last several years, that picture has changed dramatically. Today, the Brown family looks nothing like it did when viewers first met them. Christine has moved on and built a new life with David Woolley. Meri has focused on her businesses and personal growth after ending her spiritual marriage to Cody. Janelle has chosen to spend more time near her children and grandchildren while creating a future that reflects her own priorities. That leaves Cody and Robyn living a reality few fans imagined when the series first began. Many viewers remember a time when family gatherings included dozens of children running between homes, holiday celebrations filled with laughter, and dreams of building one large community together. Those dreams never fully became reality. Instead, the family experienced years of disagreements over moves, finances, property decisions, communication, and growing emotional distance. Looking back, many fans now see those challenges as warning signs that the family's foundation was becoming increasingly fragile. One issue that continues to spark discussion is communication. Throughout the later seasons, viewers watched conversations become more difficult. Simple disagreements often turned into emotional confrontations. Misunderstandings lingered for months, sometimes even years, making it harder for relationships to recover. Many fans believe that communication breakdown played a major role in changing the family's future. Others argue that no single event caused the relationships to unravel. Instead, they point to years of accumulated frustration, unmet expectations, and different visions for what the future should look like. Whatever the cause, one thing is difficult to deny: the Brown family entered a completely different era. For Cody, that transition has brought enormous changes. During interviews and recent seasons, he has openly acknowledged that many family relationships have become strained. His interactions with several of his adult children have remained a topic of discussion among fans, with viewers expressing hope that time might eventually lead to healing. Of course, family relationships are deeply personal, and only the people involved know what those conversations look like away from the cameras. Still, audiences continue following every public update, hoping to see signs of progress. Whenever a family member posts a photo together, attends a special event, or shares a positive message, speculation quickly spreads across social media. People naturally wonder whether reconciliation could happen someday. It's a question that has become almost as important as the show itself. Can the Brown family ever rebuild the connections that once brought everyone together? No one knows the answer, but fans continue hoping. At the same time, another interesting pattern has emerged. As each former wife creates a separate life, viewers have begun comparing their individual journeys rather than focusing solely on the collapse of the plural marriage. Christine's story has become one of rediscovering love and embracing a new marriage. Meri's story centers on independence, entrepreneurship, and personal reinvention. Janelle's journey has become closely associated with family, grandchildren, and a peaceful lifestyle. Each path looks different. Yet, many fans see a common thread running through all three stories: growth. Rather than remaining defined by the end of one chapter, each woman has gradually begun writing a new one. That shift has changed the way many people watch Sister Wives. Instead of asking who was right or wrong years ago, viewers are increasingly asking a different question: who are these people becoming now? For Janelle, that answer appears to involve creating a slower, more intentional life surrounded by family. For Cody, the answer is less clear. His role within the family has changed dramatically, and that adjustment has naturally become one of the central storylines heading into the new season. Many viewers are curious to see how he reflects on the past and what kind of future he hopes to build. Will he attempt to repair fractured relationships? Will there be honest conversations with his adult children? Could time soften some of the emotional distance that developed over recent years? Those are the questions keeping fans invested, because beneath every headline, every interview, and every social media post lies a very human story. Families change. People grow apart. Sometimes they reconnect. Sometimes they don't. The Brown family is living through those realities in front of millions of viewers. That level of public attention creates challenges few families ever experience. Every disagreement becomes a headline. Every photograph becomes a topic of debate. Every interview is analyzed for hidden meaning. It's a unique situation that adds another layer of complexity to relationships that are already deeply personal. Despite all of that attention, one thing has become increasingly noticeable: Janelle rarely appears interested in fueling unnecessary drama. Instead, her public updates tend to focus on everyday life, family milestones, personal projects, and moments that reflect where her attention is today rather than where it was years ago. That approach has earned praise from many longtime viewers. Some describe it as graceful. Others simply say it feels authentic. Whatever the reason, it has strengthened the connection many fans feel toward her story. And perhaps that's why this chapter has become so compelling. It's not built around explosive arguments. It's built around quiet transformation. Sometimes the biggest life changes don't happen in a single dramatic moment. They happen one decision at a time, one new opportunity, one fresh beginning, one step forward after another. For Janelle, those steps appear to have led to a life that feels calmer and more centered than the one viewers watched during the later years of her marriage. And for Cody, watching those separate journeys unfold may serve as a reminder of just how much the Brown family has evolved. The family he once imagined no longer exists in the same way, but a different kind of family still remains, connected through children, grandchildren, shared memories, and a history that can never be erased. Exactly what that future looks like is something only time will reveal. And with a new season on the horizon, fans believe some of the biggest conversations may still be ahead, because if the Brown family story has taught viewers anything over the years, it's that life can change in ways no one expects. And sometimes the most powerful chapters begin only after the ones we thought would last forever come to an end. If someone had told Sister Wives fans a decade ago that the Brown family would eventually be living separate lives across different states, many probably wouldn't have believed it. Back then, the family's biggest dream was to stay together despite the challenges that came with plural marriage. They talked about building a future where every wife, every child, and every grandchild could remain connected under one vision. But life had other plans. Today, that vision looks very different. Rather than one large household moving in the same direction, the Brown family has become a collection of individual journeys. Each adult has had to redefine what family, happiness, and success mean after years of dramatic change. For many viewers, that's what has kept the series relevant. The story is no longer just about plural marriage. It's about resilience. It's about rebuilding after disappointment. And it's about discovering that sometimes the future you never planned for can still become a meaningful one. No one represents that transformation more than Janelle Brown. Throughout the years, she earned a reputation for staying practical during difficult situations. While emotions often ran high around her, Janelle usually approached problems with patience and logic. She wasn't known for making dramatic speeches or seeking the spotlight. Instead, she quietly kept moving forward. That same approach appears to define her life today. Rather than focusing on what she lost, Janelle seems to be investing her energy in what she's gained: more time with family, greater independence, and the freedom to shape her own future. Many fans say that's why her story resonates so deeply. It's relatable. Life rarely unfolds exactly as people imagine. Relationships evolve. Families grow in different directions. Plans change. Yet people continue moving forward. That's exactly what viewers believe they're seeing in Janelle's journey. As anticipation builds for the next season of Sister Wives, fan discussions have become increasingly optimistic about where her story is headed. Some hope they'll get a closer look at her day-to-day life in North Carolina. Others are eager to see more updates about time spent with her children and grandchildren, along with the family projects that have become an important part of this new chapter. At the same time, many viewers remain curious about the wider Brown family. Will old relationships begin to heal? Could there be conversations that lead to greater understanding? Or will the emotional distance that developed over recent years continue to shape everyone's future? Those questions remain unanswered. Family relationships are rarely simple, especially when they've unfolded in front of millions of television viewers. Only the Brown family truly knows what happens away from the cameras. And that's important to remember. Public appearances, interviews, and social media posts provide only small glimpses into much larger lives. Still, those glimpses have encouraged many fans to believe that growth is possible. Not because every conflict has been resolved, but because each family member appears to be finding a new direction. Christine embraced a fresh start through marriage and a new chapter with David Woolley. Meri focused on expanding her businesses and exploring new opportunities after leaving her spiritual marriage behind. Janelle has centered her life around family, independence, and the everyday moments that bring her joy. Even Cody and Robyn continue navigating a very different reality than the one viewers first saw when Sister Wives premiered years ago. The family has changed, but the story continues. And perhaps that's why audiences keep returning season after season. They aren't just watching history, they're watching people adapt to life's unexpected turns. One of the biggest reasons Janelle's story has captured so much attention is that it isn't built around proving anyone wrong. She hasn't spent every public appearance reliving old arguments. Instead, she seems focused on creating a future that reflects who she is today rather than who she was years ago. That quiet confidence has become one of the defining themes of her recent journey. Fans frequently comment that she appears more relaxed, more comfortable, and more authentic than ever before. Of course, no one can truly measure another person's happiness from the outside, but it's clear that viewers recognize a meaningful shift. And that's enough to spark conversations across social media every time she shares another update. Looking ahead, the next season of Sister Wives is expected to revisit many of the emotional changes that reshaped the Brown family. Viewers will likely see more reflections on past decisions, evolving relationships, and the challenges that come with building new lives after such major transitions. For longtime fans, those moments are about more than television. They represent the continuation of a story they followed for years. A story filled with hope, disappointment, love, conflict, and change. No matter where viewers stand on the family's decisions, most can agree on one thing. The Brown family's journey has never been predictable, and that's exactly why people keep watching. As new episodes approach, audiences will once again be searching for clues about what's next. Will there be unexpected reunions? Will family bonds continue to strengthen in new ways? Will fresh conversations open the door to understanding? Only time and the upcoming season will provide those answers. Until then, Janelle Brown's latest chapter stands as one of the clearest reminders that sometimes the most important victories aren't the loudest ones. Sometimes they happen quietly. They happen when someone chooses peace over conflict, family over chaos, growth over resentment, and a future filled with possibility instead of regret. Whether you're a longtime Sister Wives viewer or someone just discovering the Brown family story, one thing seems certain: Janelle's journey is far from over. In many ways, it feels like it's only just beginning. What do you think? Has Janelle Brown found the life she always wanted, or do you think there are still major chapters of her story waiting to unfold? And what are your expectations for the upcoming season of Sister Wives? Do you think the Brown family will find more common ground, or will they continue moving forward on separate paths? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Sister Wives news, updates, and analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.